I have the original owner of Ariel with me right now, and I just wanted to ask him a couple questions. And he's been kind enough to sit with me and tolerate me for a few more minutes. So tell me about the origin of this boat. How did you come to get it?
I had a 246 and Cal 246, and I've always liked the cabin arrangement on the 3. Never liked the small windows that it came with. The 3 was the latest model. In every way, the cabin arrangement was an improvement over the old one. And along came the opportunity to pick up a 346. It had smaller windows, and that was the negative. But the hull and the basic fiberglass structure were exactly the same. So I was able to buy the 346 out of someone whose residence was in Palm Springs or Palm Desert. Didn't use it very much. It was at the California Yacht Club, and I bought it and wound up selling the 246. And I always wanted the larger windows. That was the main external difference. And I said I would wait 1 year, and if at the end of a year I still wanted the larger windows, I would have the larger windows made. Sure enough, I did. And as you know, the middle window, which no other boat has to the best of my knowledge, is a sliding glass window and allows cross ventilation. So you have more light, more openness, and much better ventilation than you had on any other Cal boat.
Yeah, it's very beautiful, and the windows look great, both from the interior and the exterior. So where have you taken this boat since you got it in 1980?
1981.
1981.
My first trip, long trip, obviously to Catalina and the offshore islands, but my first long trip was as far south as Manzanillo, Mexico, and up into the Sea of Cortez. The boat handled flawlessly. It just was great. We had internal furling, main and mizzen, main mainly, and we were very careful not to get that jammed because you can run into a problem. And so we were very careful as we were furling it. Unfurling easy, comes out. Furling, yeah, you want to be careful and have tension on the main sheet, I guess, and it goes in a tight wrap onto the loop that's inside the mast. If it's an external, then you don't have to worry about it too much. Internal, you have to be careful. We've never run into a problem.
Did you ever get it stuck once?
Yeah, we got it stuck. We're able to free it up.
Yeah.
But as the sail got older, more tired, and more baggy, it became more and more tricky and more important to furl it tightly. And I'm happy to say we now have new main, new staysail, and new jib.
Yeah, they're beautiful.
The mast height change was approved by Bill Lapworth, who was the original designer of the boat. I met with Bill, and he told me this is how high the mast should be. It was something like 3.5 feet taller than the original mast. It might create some problems under some bridges, but you have to be aware of it. That plus the antenna is probably about 55 feet. Anyway, so we made 2 trips, total of 2 trips, down as far south as Manzanillo, and we're there several months, staying in Cabo, Puerto Vallarta, and then we sailed up into the Sea of Cortez, a little bit, not all the way, as far as La Paz.
Yeah.
And then came back and around, and we did that twice, a similar trip.
What years were those?
Those were in the late 80s, mid to late 80s. Starting, first trip to British Columbia was subsequent to that, and that was in 1984, the year before the Vancouver, I believe it was, Olympics, was 85. We were there in 84. So the first trip to Mexico was probably in 82 or 83. That was the first long trip. We made 2 trips as far south as Manzanillo. I didn't want to go because it was pretty hot. I didn't want to go much further south than that. And we made 3 trips up to British Columbia. And the trips north were difficult. And after 2 difficult trips, we sent it the last time, we sent it on something called Yacht Transit. We sailed it down to San Diego. 2 days later, Ariel, along with 21 other boats, were offloaded in Vancouver. Not a scratch on anyone. That was wonderful.
You cheated.
We cheated. We cheated. Enjoyed British. This is the summer months.
Yeah.
Enjoyed British Columbia in the summer months. It's just wonderful.
Did you sail it back down the coast?
Yes,
Yeah.
I personally sailed it back down the coast. That was a thrilling ride.
How long did that take?
5 days offshore to reach San Francisco,
Wow.
and that was a fun ride.
How far offshore did you go?
5-7 miles.
Okay.
Didn't want to run into any obstacles or anything like
Yeah.
that. And
Conditions
we
were
had
like
radar, which was nice. Radar is always great. And the one thing the mizzen mast is good for is hanging the radar. It's really not good for sailing. It adds to the aesthetics, in my opinion, only.
and sitting at anchor, keeping you head
And
to wind.
sitting at anchor is good, yes.
That's nice. Is it flat?
It was windy. No, it was
Big
not
waves?
flat. We were talking about coming down the coast. No, it was a roller coaster. But it was, at least you're heading downwind.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have wanted to be heading upwind into that.
Yeah.
But it was, 20 knots, 15 knots, and 5 to 6 to 7 foot seas. And you just rode the crest of the sea as much as you could see it. And after a while, you did it by feel.
Yeah.
You didn't even have to see it. You just felt which way to turn the wheel, and the boat did beautifully coming downhill.
That's fun.
That was a great ride.
Did you run a spinnaker on that downhill?
No,
Okay.
never ran a spinnaker, but ran a full jib during the daytime, and when we could see what we were doing.
Nuts. Thanks for telling us about the boat. I have one more question.
Sure.
Tell us about the boat's name.
Ariel, Alpha Romeo India Echo Lima. Ariel is a name. It was the most popular name at the California Yacht Club, but all of those Ariels or Ariels were named after Shakespeare character in Shakespeare. I don't know if it's Midsummer Night's Dream or whatever, but it had to do with the wind. And this one had to do with it's Hebrew for Lion of God. Ari meaning Ari, being lion. El is the word for a god, and it's also a name for Jerusalem. And that meant a lot to me. And the symbol was a rampant lion. And so on our cruising spinnaker, if we can find it for you, and it's yours.
Enjoyed getting out today. We had a pleasant sail, not much wind. Got to haul the boat out, and I'll be putting a video together of all of it. But thanks for spending time with us today.
I'm delighted. I know the boat's going to be in very, very good hands.
Thank you very much.
All right. Take care.
All right. Bye.
Bye.